The overload of pomegranates in this dish is what makes it my absolute favorite, kept really for special occasions and what I like to believe personifies perfection for Iranian cuisine. Today on Dine Discover, we are making Iranian Fesenjoon. And for those that don't know Fesenjoon, it's basically walnuts ground down with pomegranates into this really rich stew. Traditionally, it's done with wild duck, but it's kind of hard to find over here, so we will be working with chicken, which is more commonly known outside of Iran. To begin with, we need to get sauteing our onions and making our walnut kind of paste, allowing that to stew for quite a while. Add in 1 large thinly sliced onion along with 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. And you can literally just leave them in there to kind of do their thing and sweat away while you get started on the walnuts. To make the walnut stew, we need to take some walnuts whole and grind them down until they're kind of like a fine powder. And if your blender isn't strong enough, then just add in a bit of water. It's completely fine. So what you'll notice from your walnuts, as soon as you take them out, because they have so much oil inside them, they will kind of break down into a fine crumb, but they will start to clump together. But don't panic, because we're literally going to just add it straight into our saucepan. And we just want to add in all of that walnut, and then really give it a good stir and let it combine in with those onions. It's going to start to look really clumpy. Do not panic at this point. Then we're going to add in our water. We kind of want it to get to midway. We can add more water later, and we're going to leave it then to kind of stew. And we want it to stew for like a good 1.5 to 2 hours. This dish takes a really long time, but I promise you guys, you cannot skip any step. There's no shortcuts to this. So give it a good stir. Don't panic about the clumps. We can fix that later, and a lot of them will just kind of dissolve out. Place it on your heat. Turn up the temperature to a medium to high, and then just take a lid and let it do its thing. So the base of our stew has been boiling away for a good 1.5 hours. You'll see that it's completely changed in color. Those walnuts have come together and really like pulled out this really nice, rich brown sauce that we're starting to see. And now for my favorite part, we're adding in different types of pomegranates. So firstly, we're going in with some pomegranate molasses. Add roughly 150 ml of the molasses, then an additional 125 ml of pomegranate juice. Mix it well, then add in 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, along with a pinch of salt and some pepper. And then we just want to give it a good stir to kind of mix it all in well. And guys, I know there's actually another really long step. Not too long this time. We literally need to leave this for about half an hour to kind of simmer, bring all of those flavors together and thicken slightly. And then we can finally add in our chicken. I'm using a whole chicken with the skin off. We don't need any extra fat in here. And then in particular, you can just use like the breast and thighs off the bone, but I find that as this dish doesn't have any extra spices in it, that stock that you get from the chicken bone is so vital for this. And lastly, I just like to add in some pomegranates at this stage. We also add it at the end. Iranians don't necessarily do this, but I love them and I like the extra crunch they give. So just drop some in and place your lid on, and then we have to leave it for another half an hour for that chicken to cook through. While my stew is boiling or waiting for that chicken to cook, I'm actually going to start cutting up another pomegranate for decoration, of course. You want to cut a square across the top, so make some careful incisions, and then you want to pull out that top part. And you would have kind of broken straight into it. And then you want to cut against all of the segments. So cut all the way down, not going too deep, but just enough for you to open it up. And what you want to do to help you get out all of these seeds, is you need to put it in some water, and you just want to open them all up. And you'll notice that the seeds begin to like fall out as they get submerged in. So as soon as you've picked them all out, you'll notice that all of the pomegranate seeds kind of fall to the bottom, and then that horrible white part we don't want falls to the top. So then you can just kind of stick your hand in there and take them out nicely. Our chicken has finally cooked through. I've left it for half an hour, but don't worry about leaving it slightly longer. It will just mean that it pulls straight off the bone. We can turn off our heat and open up to this gorgeous aroma of Fesenjoon. And there you have it, one perfect bowl of Fesenjoon ready to serve up with some fresh white rice and extra poms if you want. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Please share it with your friends and family, like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys have a royal gathering with your Fesenjoon.